Hello and welcome to the Spot Show podcast, an independent podcast with a few pit stops along the way. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Jim Minton, Dickie Wabash. Joining me, as always, formerly fabulous Jason V. And listen, we need to have a conversation about something. I had a thought today.
Uh-oh.
And I think you and I are the perfect ones to get to the bottom of this. Probably not. I'm probably giving us way more credit than we're actually worth.
Whose bottom are we getting to right now?
So, I would like to present something to you right now. Let's say you're watching a really good wrestling match, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you describe that wrestling match? You use one word. This match was a
good.
Really leaving me high and dry here, V.
Are you wanting banger?
Yes.
Are you wanting banger? Okay.
But I'm not wanting banger.
Okay.
I think it is time that we move on from referring to things as bangers. I think that word gets overused. I
use it ironically now. I mean, I don't remember the last time I actually used it like authentically. Maybe I did, but
I can that when I did, and it was very recently, because this has been something that I've been thinking about for quite a bit here. And as I think about it, I'm like, it's kind of a crutch. It's kind of a crutch to be like, oh, this is going to be a banger. This is going to be this. This is going to be that. We don't need that. What we need is a new word. And I think that if we legitimately work together, we can find that new word. Now,
business.
That match is going to be business.
Yes. That's good, because then it will imply that not only is it going to do the story of the match that needs to be done, but the story of the place on the card. It's going to benefit the match, the card, the promotion, the championship, the performer, all of that. It's going to do good business.
That one might be a little bit too inside baseball, though.
Is it?
I think so.
That's actually not my word. I remembered that from Aaron Matthews' fingertips. Like
business.
He'd do the business drop, and he'd do this thing like Corey Graves would do.
So I am honestly coming into this discussion with no solutions, mind you.
Okay.
I'm just saying that we could kind of spitball and workshop. I do like business because as someone that runs his own wrestling shows, we'll be finding out more about my next wrestling show here, second half of this podcast. I take a look at these things, right? And I'm like, man, I just booked X versus Y. It's going to be a banger. I really do think that it's going to be a good match. Then you hear someone go, man, MadBash Wrestling, they put on a banger of a show. Or it's like, man, that match was a banger. Or, dude, this is just a bang, whatever. I think it's getting overused. And I think, personally, that what we need to do is police the use of the word banger.
Okay.
Not only change it, but police the use of it. Because not everything can be a banger. You are pontificating right now.
I am.
What are you thinking?
Bratwurst.
Go on.
Well, that's the British slang for different types of sausages.
Bangers. Yeah.
I'm researching
Bangers and mash.
right. Yeah, bangers there. We got a rattle trap. That's a cool word.
Don't know if I like that. Man, this match is going to be a rattle trap, dude.
A cracker. Like a firecracker.
That's problematic.
It could be. Heater. That one's not too bad.
A heater is not.
That's in the maybe pile.
This match is going to be a heater. Yeah, I do like that. I'm going to propose one. One time, Christian Rose said, this is when I booked him versus Devontae Knox. He said, we are going to have an absolute ripper of a match.
Ripper's all right.
Ripper's good. I don't know if that's a Christian Rose. I don't know if that's a Christian Rose original or not, but I'm going to talk to him when I see him on Saturday, and I'm going to say, hey, we're trying to figure out something to replace the word banger. And you came to my mind with something that you said. Give me your thoughts on this one.
For the audio listeners, I was trying to do the rip 'em from No Holds Barred because he said ripper, and I must have damaged my fingers at some point in my life because I cannot do it correctly. Like, I'm trying, and it's not like my index finger will not go halfway down and tuck in while my pinky is extended anymore.
I think we need to bring it back. Someone needs to do the rip 'em.
I can't do it. Wow.
But
learning
no, this is
myself every day.
That's the beauty of podcasting, my friend. You
boy.
really do learn about yourself. We can shelve this discussion. I think that we can come back to this at a later date. Maybe we can come up with some options. Maybe we can weigh those options and go from there and try to figure these things out. But it was just something that was really pressing me today. Specifically, it hit me, and I was like, man, I hate it when people just continuously use the word banger. I'm not saying, mind you, that we completely outlaw the word. I'm just saying that we need to have some options, and we police those options. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got to gatekeep a little bit. I think we got to gatekeep a lot of things a little bit better because people that shouldn't be doing things have been doing things. And that crosses the entire spectrum. You could say it's with wrestling. You could say it's with podcasting. Like everybody that knows of somebody with a ring, they're just a professional wrestler. If they got a webcam and maybe a microphone, probably built into their computer, all of a sudden they're a podcaster. And there should be a little bit of gatekeeping. And I know both of us at some point we're probably example A on these things.
A and B respectively.
A and B. I mean, like, I didn't have any training, really. I got beat up in a 18 by 18 square, but I didn't have any wrestling training. I knew how to take a hit. I didn't learn how to be a wrestler, really, until I got under the wing of Harker Dirge. And then I go, oh, it's not supposed to hurt that bad? Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Is that a crowd reaction? I've tried to do the Hogan, and I remembered I had headphones. I'm falling apart. Oh, boy.
Oh. Speaking of gatekeeping, you just started a whole paid show conversation, by the way. That might need to be a good paid show conversation about gatekeeping. Jason V, you know, you are one of my closest friends. You are my co-host, but I am nothing if not someone that will hold his co-hosts accountable for things that they have done in the past and things that they had said.
We're holding people accountable for things they've done in the past. I don't want to play this game no more.
Jason V,
this could get muddy. I'm gonna break out the Yoo-hoo.
I am going to play something for you, and I want to get some thoughts on this because, dare I say,
crisp and refreshing.
This might be one of the most hyperbolic things that has ever been said on the Spot Show podcast. So you watched a movie that I came on this very podcast and I talked about how good it was, and everyone is talking about how good it is. I'm, of course, talking about Backrooms. You watched it and you did not like it. Elaborate.
The collective opinion from everybody is it's amazing, right?
It's pretty out there that,
my collective opinion on everybody is that everybody is stupid. What do people love it because it's so low budget and it's just it's not a big CGI Michael Bay boom boom big robot big explosion kind of thing? Is it because it's simplified? There was no set dressing, there was no other name actors, there was just, hey, here's a big empty room. What's there? All right. I've learned something since then.
Oh, what is that?
The guy at the end is doing blackface, and that's just okay. Because that wasn't a CG. If anybody's that's seen the movie, big old crazy looking pirate guy. He's like all gangly and like terrifying looking, but he's so stupid looking. Like but it's not CGI or like a prop. It's like a real
it's a guy in a suit.
But it's a real white man in a real black man's suit. So
I don't necessarily know if that would be blackface or not, but you are diverting from the point here. Over 1,000 people.
I'm gonna be Blade for Halloween, and you tell me. You tell me what is appropriate.
Oh, I kind of have an idea of what you're going to be for Halloween.
And sad. That's actually what I'm planning on being.
We've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, you did. But anyway, continue.
You were put on blast. Not only by me, over 1,000 people saw that reel on youtube.com at MadBash Studios. And most of the comments.
It's a short on YouTube. Did you put it on Facebook? Did you put it on Facebook as well? Because you called it a reel. It's
a reel on Facebook. It's a short on YouTube. It's all over the place is what I'm getting at here.
It is real though. It's just
the comments. The comments were not kind to you on that.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do today, we are going to get inside the mind and the psyche of one Jason V, because it has become very apparent to me over 14, almost 15 years of knowing you, that the way that you and I view the world is different. Now, this is not me saying that the way that I view the world is correct. I also am very much admittedly, a film snob and a cinephile. So I mean, for those of you on the video version, I'm wearing a weapons shirt right now. Like, that's just what I'm
wearing a Squirrel Girl shirt. Is that anything?
It's really telling the difference between you and I.
Doreen Green. She's bae.
She's bae. My point with this is I really want to get to the bottom of why you feel the way that you do. And Backrooms is going to come up a lot. I'm not coming on here just to defend Backrooms because I loved it. It was a good movie. But Backrooms is the most prime example because we have video evidence of you just roasting this movie. But I've also, in private conversation, what many people are considering the best movie this year, Obsession, you also thought that Obsession was just kind of meh.
It was fine. It was fine. I did not dislike it. No.
So here's what we want to, I'm not saying you disliked it. I'm just saying that you're not looking at it as, oh my God, this is amazing, like a lot of people are doing. So again, this is not me trying to say that I am right and you are wrong. I'm not doing that. Everyone has their own point of view. Everyone has their own way of looking at things. I respect that. I just want a deep dive down into your train of thought when it comes to digesting media and what makes you think the way that you do. So I've prepared a few questions here, and to get a good baseline read, this is what we're going to do. Essentially, my goal here is to try to maybe rewire your brain a little bit so that maybe we can
that could be very beneficial just in life.
Exactly.
That would be nice.
So that maybe you're not so much of a curmudgeon and you will actually enjoy movies for what they are instead of being way too hypercritical about them.
Are you going to hypnotize me?
I don't have that ability. But if you
maybe I can hypnotize you to think that you can hypnotize me. Hypnotize. Notorious B.I.J. And then
Biggie
you
Smalls?
can hypnotize me. Yeah.
Biggie Smalls, he'll
Big
make
Papa.
you shit your draws.
Oh no. Oh, that
So
reminds me. I only had 3 of my 4 Arby's sandwiches today, by the way, at day of recording.
So you're
4
gonna
for
have a good little podcast snack.
it's good.
Yeah.
That's my little tasty treat for after this. And with that specifically, you said enjoy your time in the bathroom, and I said no. The poop virus is on the vegetables right now, and Arby's we have the meats. Shameless plug.
You're diverting though.
Am I?
You're diverting
Oh man.
because we're trying to get to the bottom of this.
All right, get to the bottom.
So
show me a good bottom.
I'm not going to try to hypnotize.
Does that make you a power bottom?
Cut that goddamn thing off.
So what I want you to do,
Oh,
we need
boy.
to kind of, I'm not going to try to hypnotize you. I'm not going to try to do anything like that. This is what I
Okay.
want to see you do. I want to see you kind of center yourself. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
kind of center
All right,
yourself.
all right.
And we're going to do a little deep dive
Gotta get this
into
hip to
why
cooperate. All right.
into why we think that you might think this way about different media and different movies. So the first question, by the way, none of this is an attack. Why do you think that you view stuff this way? Or why do you think that you think this way?
I need clarification. This is like one of those spelling bees. I need clarification on what is this way. Are we talking because I'm critical of things that other people love, or what?
Yeah, I would say, why do you... Okay, I'll tell you what. Maybe starting with that question was not correct. Maybe we can come back to it.
Yeah, please do.
Let's start with this question then. Would you consider yourself a hipster?
Maybe to a degree. More hypocrite. I do feel that way quite a bit. But I have been very hipster because I'll be into something, and then by the time it gets popular, I'm over it and I'm moving on. I was Lady Gaga for Halloween. You asked my friend Kevin Thorne about that.
Sub question here.
Okay.
Do you find yourself normally disliking things just because people like them?
Not just because, but I think when the general consensus is overly positive, that raises the bar of what that thing is. And when that thing is just mid, okay, well maybe they haven't seen enough things to know what good is. Or maybe good in that moment is not good 2 months later.
That's almost a very elitist way of looking at it. Would you consider yourself an elitist?
I wouldn't think so, but maybe. I might, walks like a duck and quacks like a duck.
Okay.
Those with problems don't realize they have problems. I mean,
that's why we're here.
The insane person doesn't realize he's insane, which makes him insane. But if you're insane and you think you're insane, then you're actually pretty normal, Psychological.
To me, a goofy movie is just a movie.
I thought it was goofy.
All right.
It was.
So here's my question to you then. If these movies that you seem to... Because, hey, let's give another example here. Recently, in our private conversations, you were talking about how you could just really be bothered to even care about Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't care at all about that.
So
I want to. I really do.
So if these movies were presented in a different way, would that change your opinion? And so here's an example. One of your criticisms of the Backrooms, and again, we're not going to harp on the Backrooms, but it's the one that prompted this entire thing.
Yeah, it's a good jumping off point.
Yes. One of your criticisms of the Backrooms was no big name actors, no set dressing. You criticized the Backrooms for not having that. So if the main character was, let's say, Michael B. Jordan, and the therapist character was someone like, I don't know, let's just say Sydney Sweeney or another big Zendaya.
Yeah.
One of these A-list stars right now.
You need Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Robert Pattinson in every movie right now.
So do you think that would change your opinion of the Backrooms if it had these big name actors.
No. It probably would have got it a lot harsher at that point, because I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, obviously, actor A is doing this for a payday. But I think I'm gonna find that regardless. The things that I said in that clip were literally right off the top of my head, and when I saw that clip uploaded, I go, "Oh, I don't really think like that. Like, I don't care about that part." I think it was more like it was slower. It was boring to me. I couldn't get connected to any characters because there weren't very many characters. I forgot there was a therapist character, and then you brought that
and
up.
She's like the main character, B.
Yeah, and I don't. That was how little I paid attention, I guess, because it was I just couldn't be bothered. Maybe I need to watch it again at some point when I'm in a little bit better frame of mind.
Oh, hang on.
Maybe
we're getting there.
We're going somewhere.
You questioned, so let's bounce off that again.
Yeah.
You question if people like the back room simply because of not having big name actors, but and this might be a moot point now because you've kind of backpedaled on that point. You famously, I've known you, like I said, 15 years. You famously are a fan of trauma films and B horror movies. And arguably, none of those have big name actors.
No.
So what is it about Backrooms not having big name actors that annoyed you, but these movies you're okay with? And again, this might be a moot point because you just
to a degree
kind of spewing. So
it's less that it didn't have any big name actors, but it was, I think that became one of its identifying pieces, if that makes any sense. Like, look at this minimalistic, simplistic movie and it's terrifying. So maybe it was something like that. I really don't know. I didn't know the story. I didn't watch the YouTube shorts or whatever it was.
I don't think that you need the YouTube shorts. That's just my opinion.
So just whatever the short films on YouTube with that. I didn't know anything going into it other than the world loves this movie. And when the world loves something, I want it to be worth something. Speaking of your shirt, Weapons took me 2 watches. The first watch, I was like, well, this is dumb. I didn't hate it, but I was like, this isn't very good. And then a few months later, I watched it again. I go, oh, okay. Yeah, this is, and it was, I wouldn't say great, but it was definitely good. As far as the trauma stuff, that is all about mood. One of my favorite and stupidest trauma movies is Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. And it also features a gentleman by the name of Arby. Arby is the main character. There is a girl on there named Mickey D. There's Wendy. She's the main female. The the guy that owns the restaurant is Denny. And then there's a Hispanic gentleman named Paco Bell. So that movie is so funny if you're in that right mood. But if you're not, oh my gosh, it is the worst. So in my little movie review gimmick that I'm doing, I put it as an 8.5/2. Because literally it's about the time that you're watching it.
So this is the point where we explore me a little bit now. Because, Dickie, what qualifies you to do this? I mean, we get it. Goodfellas is your favorite movie of all time. You love A24. You push up your glasses. You're a nerd. You're excited for Zach Krieger's Resident Evil. Cinema.
Not a big fan of A24. I've seen a couple. They're fine. Most of them I watched, didn't care about.
We may need to re-explore this.
So,
because like I said, I think my goal of this is to try to turn you into a cinephile. I think that's what we're trying to do here today.
I don't want to do that.
I famously, on this podcast, about 2 years ago, put my former co-host, Michael Madrox, on blast because he is a huge fan of the Terrifier movies.
Yes.
And I said, can you please explain this to me? Because all I see is just people like this for the sake of how gratuitous it is. And I see no substance there. And I don't think Madrox did a very good job of explaining why he liked. And look, I'm not saying everyone has to explain why they like something. Sometimes we just do be liking things. I'm going to give you an example. I just this past Friday went with Green Kid Chris, and we went and saw the Fast and the Furious 20th anniversary.
Nice.
And look, I can sit here, why not have my cake and eat it too? Why not have cake and pie? I can sit back and enjoy the Odyssey for what it is. Amazing movie, by the way. But then I can also go watch a schlocky movie like The Fast and the Furious, which Fast and the Furious is admittedly my favorite film franchise of all time. Lost in the sauce here. My point is Madrox did a very bad job of explaining why he liked these movies and why they might have appeal to them. You did a good job of explaining the appeal of trauma movies. Now, famously, we met Lloyd Kaufman at a convention.
Yeah, he was a turd.
That's why and you were very mad because I was in the photo with you.
No, I was very mad that all he cared about was hurried up to get the photo up and then move to the next thing. And I was like, buddy, I appreciate you, but you're really not that important.
Never meet.
That's like when we were talking with Harker, and the extra from The Walking Dead was at the Silicon in Mattoon. He was like, "Oh, here's a picture of John Bernthal. Here's a picture of Andrew Lincoln." I was like, "Okay, what about you?" "Oh, I'm in the back over here. I'm that guy." "Oh, cool. Yeah, you're cool. That's good." I do not want him to think that I do not appreciate that he did something, and that's a thing he can hang his hat on. But man, it's not that important. I was an independent wrestler for a decade and a half. It ain't that important. As far as the Madrox thing, though, I loved that episode. And first of all, I liked how much he was making you frustrated. That was always a sleeper pleasure of mine from listening to the podcast with Madrox, because he would say something like,
"Goddamn thing off."
He would just be like, okay, bro, that's fine. That's fine. And you're like, no, explain more words.
It's like, we have an hour to fill. We need to have a conversation. This isn't a conversation.
Terrifier is not my cup of tea, and I don't like it. I've seen the first two. I have no interest in watching the others. I watched the second one just for the sake of being like, man, maybe this one's better than the first. And it wasn't. It was just brainless, just gore. But sometimes we just like things. You and I have went down roads of like, man, look at this Backyard Wrestler. Look at remember the Genie and the Lamp was the biggest one back in the day.
It's my favorite Backyard Wrestling match of all time.
It's so good. The Genie and the Lamp ladder match. And it's so bad. So things can be really, really good and really, really bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Look at my career.
And I think that you're pinpointing, and if I'm over explaining myself and defending myself a lot, just tell me to be quiet.
I'm working on it.
Because a lot of these things can just be labeled as it's not your cup of tea. And that's completely fine. But I more want to get into the mind of someone that is like, everyone is loving this movie, and I just think it's mid. Yeah. So that's really more of what this is. And then we're going to try to turn you into a cinephile as well. But we're about halfway through this thought experiment. I want to go ahead and remind everyone that this is, of course, the Spot Show podcast. Each and every week, Jason V and I get together and talk about whatever it is. Oh, excuse me, that we want to talk about. If you like what we're doing here, you can, of course, go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Back at the $5 tier. There you're going to get all of our shows early and ad-free, as well as some exclusive content. But I understand sometimes you don't have the extra money you can toss our way. That's completely fine. There are other ways that you can support us. One of the best ones, we have been exploring YouTube a little bit more. There are 2 YouTube channels that you need to check out. This channel right here, MadBash Studios. Of course, I say this channel right here if you're watching the video version of this podcast, of course. YouTube.com/MadBash Studios for all your Spot Show needs. Then you can, of course, go to youtube.com/MadBash Wrestling for all of your Mad Bash Wrestling needs. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, you of course get this lovely, lovely visual element of us here. If you're watching it, go down to the comments of this video. Let us know what your favorite movie of the year is so far. We definitely want to know. We'll get the answer to your question after we get done with ads, V, because I saw saw you kind of spinning a little bit here going,
I don't know. Figure that out during the break.
MadBashStudios.com. There you'll find links to all of our social media. Go to your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a 5-star written review. Go to the Facebook page. Go give us a like and a follow over there. Of course, subscribe to the 2 YouTube channels. Quick Patreon plugs. We have got a couple of things up on there. Not Patreon plugs, YouTube plugs. Available on the Mad Bash Wrestling YouTube account. We have got the best of 2025. Some unreleased matches are up there. Some of the best matches from last year. The match of the year from last year, where Devontae Knox won the Mad Bash Wrestling Championship. Coming up here this Saturday, if you're hearing this on the day that it comes up, Mad Bash Wrestling presents Ruthless. Look, here's the thing. Maybe you're just listening to the podcast. Maybe you just discovered us and you don't know that I run an independent wrestling company. Yeah, I do. It's called Mad Bash Wrestling. It's awesome. You can check out Marshall, Illinois, August 29th. Mad Bash Wrestling presents Ruthless. Go check that out. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue diving into the mind of Jason V and his taste in movies after
Taste in V.
we hear a word from our sponsors. This episode of Spot Show Podcast is brought to you by Big Red Soda. Let's be honest, wrestling fans are a little different. We spend hours debating matches from 20 years ago, drive hundreds of miles for shows in buildings that may or may not have functioning air conditioning, and somehow we consider that a good weekend. Big Red gets it. Big Red has been doing its own thing since 1937, delivering a flavor that's completely unique and impossible to forget. Grab an ice cold Big Red. Support the sponsors that support independent. And we're going to sweeten the pot for you. Any Mad Bash Wrestling event that you go to until September 2026, any purchase at the merch table, doesn't matter what it is, a sticker, a shirt, a pin, a poster, you are going to get a free bottle of Big Red on us. Thank you again to Big Red for sponsoring Independent. This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/MadBash Studios. If you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, you are helping fund the definition of independent. Hundreds of hours of content starting at just $5 a month. You are going to get early, ad-free access to everything that Mad Bash Studios has to offer, on top of exclusive shows starting at just $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee a month. You can go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios and you can support the dream of being unapologetically creative. If you are looking for that retro feel with a little bit of a modern twist, then look no further than the Camp Snap V2 screenless digital camera. Listen, about a month or so ago, I decided I'm going to hop on this trend of retro technology. But the problem with a lot of retro technology is that some of it isn't as accessible. And then I realized, what if I can get the retro feel, but modern? And that is how I found Camp Snap. Camp Snap is an easy-to-use, screenless digital camera. Don't be worried about being glued to a screen. Be worried about being in the moment and capturing a shot with that feel. Listen, the V2 comes with multiple filters that are going to give that perfect perfect touch that you need with every single picture that you take. You don't need to put it in post and add on filters. It does it right on the camera for you. If you are interested in joining that screenless lifestyle, go ahead and use our link down in the description of this podcast to get $5 off your purchase at CampSnap. Again, head down to the link in the description of this episode and buy yourself a CampSnap V2 with $5 off on MadBash Studios. Jason V, do you find yourself only liking things because they are niche?
Situational. Life is so situational because I do not seek it out. But yeah, sometimes if somebody says, "Oh, this is terrible," and then I watch it, well, my expectations are super low. And then if it's middle of the road, it's great. And it works the other way too. And that went back to like your thing about Doomsday. Doomsday is the biggest Marvel movie ever made because it's going to have like all the Fox characters, the Sony
until the next
characters.
biggest one is made.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's got all the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and all these different universes all colliding. Well, that's exactly why I don't care. How many times have we had to kill Professor X? Like, why? Like, he just keeps coming back. Like, oh, that's a different universe. Okay, sure. So with that, to small caveat, that's why I enjoyed Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then afterwards got mad at myself for enjoying it because nothing mattered. Like, it's this great street level story, and then it's just like, oh yeah, this doesn't matter because Doomsday's coming up, and then Secret Wars, and then there should be a reset. And so why do I care if any of these characters are here or not? Because they're not going to be later on.
You just presented me with a crossroads here because you set me up for two of my questions. And I'm debating.
I didn't know if that was too much layering.
No, that's exactly what I needed here. We need to figure out which direction I want to go in here because you touched on expectation. Then you also talked about how none of this really matters.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's go with the nothing really matters thing.
That's right. Great Metallica song. Have you heard Miley Cyrus sing that song?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was good.
Do you find that because this can go a little bit into, we haven't had one of these in a very long time. Mama Wabash, you are live on the Spot Show podcast. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm grilling Jason V on his taste in movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now he can hear you, but you can't hear him.
Okay.
Yeah, he was going to go with him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hear Tiger talking in the background.
Oh,
there,
boy.
so I'm going to call you whenever we're done recording.
He's going to get off the rails.
Okay, 2 front row seats reserved.
Okay, that's good to know. We just sold some tickets for Ruthless. Okay.
Woo.
Here we go. All right. I will call you later. Okay. Love you.
I love you.
Always tell your mom you love them. So, you talked about how you get out of, you're not able to live in the moment. You're not able to live in the moment of, I just enjoyed Brand New Day. By the way, I'm one of the rare ones that didn't really enjoy Brand New Day. It just didn't really do much for me. You get out of the theater and then you look at what's looming. So here's my question to you. Do you find that you have a hard time separating yourself from reality and suspending belief when watching movies? Now, let me go on here because I have another example of this. Obsession is another one that you said was just okay. Spoilers for Obsession, if you guys have not seen Obsession. You said at the end of that movie, I believe it was either you or your lovely girlfriend, Cara, said, how do they explain all this to the police?
No,
Or
that
how
was
does-
definitely, that was definitely me.
How does she explain this to the police? Now, why is that important to you? Why do you feel the need to ask that question? Why can't you just enjoy the ending of that movie for what it was? And now let's look at that also goes with, why can't you just enjoy Spider-Man? Why did you need to ruin your opinion of Spider-Man just because you're looking towards the future? Why did you feel the need to do that?
So with the obsession one, okay, starting at the first question, I am actually very good at suspending the disbelief within the context of this. I understand we're at a DC movie. I understand Superman's there. He can fly. That's a thing he can do. That's cool. I can't fly. I'm not Superman. But if I were Superman, maybe I could fly. So
if I go crazy, will you still call me Superman?
I've never called you Superman. I will not do that. But in that, I can suspend that disbelief. If movie's over, I'm done. So the obsession one, I suspended the disbelief that the One Wish Willow gimmick worked. And that's crazy because that is a thing that what if you toss the penny in the wishing well? What if you there's something with horseshoes, I think. Am I making that up? I'm not totally sure. But
there's no horseshoes lucky.
Yeah, horseshoes are lucky. Or what if Thanksgiving you got your turkey and you break the wishbone? What if any of these things? How many times have you just sat there in your life and been like, man, I wish, and then you said something, but then what happens if that thing actually worked? It was an old episode of Bewitched, actually, where that was in the context. They said, I want to get him something for his birthday, so whatever he wishes for, make it happen. So the first thing he does, he goes to his office, his secretary walks by, whoops, her shirt disappears. So this is on Bewitched. So I understand that the concept of that makes sense in that movie, but there are also consequences to the things that happen. So in a Fast and the Furious movie, they run somebody off the road. Okay, they run somebody off the road. Well, then that guy just got in an accident. The consequences are he probably goes to the hospital or the morgue. Right? So there's consequences.
But why do you find yourself thinking about this?
Because you're wanting the bigger picture. You're wanting this world. And so I need that piece. And I know in that movie, that's the underlying thing at the end, where they're like she's there, she's free of this spell, but she's probably in trouble. How is she going to continue? And that's the ambiguous ending. So I get that and I respect that from a filmmaking perspective. Then the other one is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You create a cinematic universe and you tell me everything is happening, everything is possible. Then that means nothing is important. The Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was a great example of that. They go over there. They said out of however many 12 million possibilities or whatever, that only one was possible for them to defeat Thanos. But then they go over to Earth. What is it? 828?
I don't remember the Earth numbers.
The one with the Illuminati.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they go over there and then it's just like, oh yeah. We beat Thanos too. That's cool. We had Doctor Strange use the Darkhold. Oh, so that was it. So that would be two possible options, not one. So it just makes everything seem unimportant when literally anything can happen. And not only anything, but everything has happened. Multiverse messes with you.
Yeah, that's where Marvel, I think, has really started to lose me a little bit. And the superhero fatigue and all this is the multiverse. It was hard enough to follow when it was just one shared universe. Now we've got these branching timelines.
Yeah, and you're trying to do timelines. You're trying to explain why the X-Men are just now kind of coming around. Like, did they say Jean Grey was a mutant? I don't know.
No, but they've mentioned mutants in the MCU before.
Yeah, Kamala Khan, get out of here.
Yeah, come on.
How's Christy Carlson Romano in the Dickie verse? How are you guys holding up? You guys having a good life?
I think you went back and listened to that podcast, didn't you?
No, but I just remember that because that was also a really good one that I did enjoy.
That was an early one. That was like episode 6 or something. My question now is this. we talked about expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe expectations are just a little too high, or they're the right amount of low going into this movie. If you went into every movie blind, no recommendations, no outside influence, how do you think that would affect your opinion of movies? Would you be able to form a more independent opinion? Because here's what I'm noticing. Boy, you really let outside influence dictate your opinion on things. And maybe it's a
Yeah, but I
subconscious.
go backwards. I go backwards on it.
You do. And maybe it's a subconscious thing that you're doing. Maybe you're more than likely subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that maybe, just maybe, and now we're getting deep.
Ooh.
Do you think that maybe, give me another movie that you've not liked recently besides The Backrooms?
The new Scary Movie.
That's low-hanging fruit, though.
Is it bad? Is it just? Is it
okay? No, actually, it's not. It's not. That's not low-hanging fruit because everyone. Now, I've not seen it. Everyone was hyped because Wayne's Brothers got Scary Movie again. Scary Movie is back. Let's go. Let's go. Also, Scary Movie has not been one of these cinematic masterpieces. It never has been. It's never meant to be. But let's say that if there was no hype around this movie and all this and all that, and you went into it, do you still think that you would not have liked that movie?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't see much about Scary Movie. I just knew, I remember liking the old Scary Movies. I remember those. So that was cool 20 years ago. So maybe 25 years ago.
20 years ago. I think longer.
And so I was like, yeah, this is cool. I'll go ahead and check this out. And no, it wasn't for me. And then it made me question whether the other ones were actually good or if I was wrong then. I really didn't know. Does that make any sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You almost had
if I didn't have any expectations, if I didn't hear anything about any of these movies and then I watched them completely dry, I think I'd have a much better experience because that just happened fairly recently. I saw just the poster for a movie called The Devil's Mouth. Okay. Have you heard of this at all?
I've not.
Absolutely. Not. And that is correct because I hadn't heard of this at all. And I just by the poster, I was like, yeah, oh, all right, cool. I'll play it. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know who was in it. I didn't know what the story was, but the poster caught my eye. I clicked it. And I enjoyed it. First of all, in the first maybe 10 minutes, there's a jellyfish attack, like a swarm of them. And you never see that in the movie. And it got a 6 out of 10 just for the jellyfish. And then later on, I find out it's a shark movie. I'm like, oh, it's a shark movie. Okay, let's see how they do it differently. And it wasn't amazing, but it was good. I think I ended up with gave it like a 7 out of 10 total. 6 for the jellyfish, 1 for the shark. But it was solid, and I went into it completely blind. I loved that. Now, these other ones, if I like doomsday spoilers, and it's like anytime that would pop up on my YouTube recommended, it's like, hey, spoiler, this character is gonna die in this movie. I'm like, whatever, just delete it, and I'll not recommend channel because I don't care. Let me be more innocent. Let me remember the time of watching something before the internet.
You are very influenced by other people's opinions of things. Yes. I'm really noticing this. I would say what I'm noticing here, I'm not trying to diagnose you or anything.
Yeah, this is not a medical diagnosis.
Not what this is. Just like my test.
I did score 125 out of 150 on my autism test that I took independently after we were done with that. I got a 49 out of 50 in masking, so that was cool.
Oof.
Continue.
I feel like that what I'm noticing here is that you definitely are a hipster. I think that you 100% are a hipster, and maybe you don't realize it. I do think that what would benefit you is blocking out the noise. Don't listen to your co-host.
I was going to say, one that told me about Obsession and Backrooms, and you wanted to shut up about them, about how good they were. Okay. So I was like, all right, I guess I need to check these out.
Don't listen to that. Just go watch a movie. Now, that brings me to my next point. Do you think, and now let's speak in vague terms here.
Oh,
I think you're going to get what I mean when I say this. Do you think the way that you digest media plays a big role in your opinions? Now, what I mean by that is that maybe you don't have as much skin in the game with these. I, for example, I'm an AMC Stubs member. Free plug. Love it. Free movie every week. AMC Stubs Classic. The day that this drops, if you're listening to this right now in the evening, I'm going to be in the theater watching Coyote versus Acme. Excited for that movie.
Are you going to be the only one in the theater?
Now, see, why do you got to be like that?
Sorry. I watched the trailer. That opinion I made on my own. I watched the trailer, so it's what they put out there as a promotional material, and I go, oh, no. Oh, no.
Do you find the way that you digest this media plays a big role in your opinion of these movies? Meaning that do you just view them as disposable? Just Do you think streaming services have kind of ruined what you might think about some of these movies? Because it's just a never-ending loop and scrolling through and finding something.
Yeah, because why would I, if the movie, perfect one. Okay, I know that, and you love this movie. I tapped out 35 minutes into Oppenheimer. Okay, so he left. So I'll explain to everybody sitting there in TV land. Well, that's an old dated reference. Anyway.
So Oppenheimer is a modern day masterpiece, my guy.
I'm a modern day masterpiece.
Cillian Murphy, man. Come on.
Yeah, like when he reprised his role in 28 years later. And everybody, I think that zombie popped up and they're like, wow, he's still in the movie. They're like, no, that was just a zombie. Anyway.
Why did you tap out of Oppenheimer? Can I guess?
Yes, please.
3 hours, 3 hours long you didn't want to commit because of TikTok brain.
Not because of TikTok brain with that, but I gave it a college try. I was trying. That one I actually was looking at. I was paying attention to. Backrooms, maybe not so much. And that's probably what ruined that one. But Oppenheimer, I'm trying because I know how good it was supposed to be. I went to to see Barbie that weekend instead. Much better movie. But people would always talk about how great that movie was, and it won awards and everything. So I'm like, let's do it. I want to see this masterpiece. 30 minutes in, 35. I was like, I don't care about anything that's happening. No, I do not care about any of these people. And to a degree, yeah, that 3 hour runtime really did affect it. I was like, I can either commit to this for another 2.5 hours, or I can find something that I might actually enjoy. And it is because I literally have every movie in the history of cinema at my fingertips. We're not in the day of the video store where you go up there with $10, you get 3 movies.
And then you're like, my mind. You know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I loved that growing up because I would end up watching some of those movies 2 or 3 different times in a weekend. I talked to you about Monster Squad. That one I loved, and I would rent it, watch it multiple times. I ain't watching anything on Netflix or Hulu or whatever Korean site that I had or the Russian site that Harker has.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So that's like these different ones. I'm not going to watch these things multiple times. There's too much out there that I could spend my time on.
So recently, we have become physical media Dickie. That's been my thing. As everyone knows, I've been trying to live this more simplistic lifestyle with the way that I digest media. I'm not one of these completely off the grid guys where I'm still like not doing this. I listen to an MP3 player. I take pictures with a CampSnap V2. By the way, follow our link down in the description, $5 off.
I looked at some of those. They look really cool.
They are cool. They're amazing. And I love them for that. I have added another caveat to this. Physical media Dickie. I have recently been buying. First of all, I've always tried to buy 4K or Blu-ray or DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
But recently, I was sitting back and I was looking at it and I'm like, man, I would like to watch. I forget what it was. It was a show. And I was like, oh, you're going to laugh. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like, man, let's just throw on some Courage.
Now you're talking Kara's language. She's going to be excited.
Wow. It's not streaming anywhere. And I'm not one of these guys that does promiscuous activities. So I bought the DVD collection of it. And now I have Courage the Cowardly Dog because this whole big Sony debacle with the physical media is done. What are we going to do when we talk about the licenses? What are they going to do when they take away these licenses? What are they going to do when they do this? What are they going to do when they do that? What are we going to do? So I'm trying to build this physical media collection. All this to say, I find myself so much more invested in watching what I'm watching. For example, I got Ultimate Muscle, the complete series on Blu-ray. I've been trying to watch a couple episodes a day and I'm invested. I got an Aqua Teen, like 20 disc set. I've been running through those seasons, and I'm more invested in it because I physically have to get up off the couch, open the DVD player, put the disc in, select play all, boom. I can't just all of a sudden back out and be like, oh, well, boom, let's look for something else. Let's look for something else. All of this to say, because I know I get long-winded, but I make good points and I put a bow on it. All of this to say, you personally, we call it TikTok brain.
Mm-hmm.
You have too much at your fingertips and you are unable to disconnect yourself from it so that you can be in the moment and enjoy this movie because you're maybe a little bit too fidgety, or maybe you're like, oh, maybe I don't want that. But this also ties into with Oppenheimer being 3 hours long. You were like, I don't want to commit to 3 hours of Oppenheimer. I
committed to 35 minutes of it.
You did commit to 35 minutes, but the reason you watched that movie was because you were hearing everyone talk about how great it was, how great of a movie it is. To go back on this,
I watched the trailer and I didn't care. So I figured maybe there's something more in the movie. Also didn't care.
You were influenced by the opinions of others. And all of this, the point that I want to get to with all this, I don't care that you don't like the back rooms. Okay, good for you. You have a differing opinion. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Spot Show. I'm joking.
That'd be a good sign-off point.
I don't mind that you don't like the back rooms. I don't mind that you don't think Obsession is one of the best movies this year. You rolled your eyes a little bit when I said that I enjoyed The Odyssey. I noticed it. Here's the thing. Form these opinions by yourself and don't go into these movies with preconceived notions.
How do you even do that?
That's what
Teach me, Obi-Wan.
That's what you have to figure out on your own, because I know what works for me and I can't explain what works for me. I just block it out. Now, back in what I like to call the day, I was the opposite of you, where if someone liked something, I was immediately like, yeah, I like that too. I was really bad about that with wrestlers. If a wrestler was really popular, I would hipster them for like a couple of months and then I would jump on the bandwagon. I was a bandwagon boy, Dickie Wabash back in the day, big style. If people didn't like it, I wouldn't like it. Blah, 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 blah. You and I were the yin and the yang, brother. We're the yin and the yang. So what works for me is that I just kind of did it. And I know that that's probably not what you want to hear, but
no, I need it. I need a 12-step program,
brother. That's for you to find out. So
I also didn't realize these things were a problem. I mean, maybe that's my master plan all along, that I'm influenced by the others in this world. Then I form an opinion and my opinion upsets others. And then I get some sort of, I don't know, pride out of it or something.
That's a toxic trait.
That is it, man.
I think so.
I'm a toxic person.
Yeah, maybe.
It's all under the surface. It's all underlying stuff. I'm not doing it on purpose. I just kind of just tell my feelings. Speaking of feelings, please, I've talked to you and I thought about Josh Steele today.
We'll get to that on Paid Show.
Come on.
We'll get to that. We're almost done here. We're almost done.
Oh,
Quit
man.
diverting. We're getting into some deep conversations here, V, and you're not
We
liking
are.
it.
But
You're
it's
trying to
reminding me of
divert.
fun things.
Trying to divert. We'll get fun on Paid Show.
I'm tired of fun now.
I am going to bring you back to the first question that I asked, which shouldn't have been the first question. And then I've got an assignment for you. So that we can figure this out and you can report back whenever you report back. Here we go. So, Jason V, why do you think you're this way?
Oh. Did we do the clarifier yet? Or did we just do an hour worth of clarifiers?
I mean, I think the result that I am settling on is that you very much let the opinions of others dictate how you feel about things. You look at the hype of something and look at how hyped something can be, and you go the opposite way. If someone doesn't, if it's niche, I'm all about that. I want to be unique. I think that you want to be unique. I think that you want to stand out in a crowd. I think that you don't want to follow the status quo. And again, there is nothing wrong with that, because I will give you this. You're not a holier than thou hipster. I despise a holier than thou hipster. You don't judge. Well, you do a little bit. But you don't look down on people just because they like a thing that you dislike or vice versa. So we've established you very much form, or rather, you let the general opinion of something really dictate your opinion. And it's 9 times out of 10, I would say 10 times out of 10, the opposite direction. Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's because I was an outsider for so much of my life that I've desperately wanted to be inside. And then when I started, I guess LARPing and just role playing, doing the thing that you did, I used to do that kind of stuff as well. This thing's popular. I love that thing. What is it? I don't know. How do you play Magic the Gathering? I'm not sure. But I'm going to go look and try to find this Black Lotus. I do know that. But I don't, as I grew, I cared less and less about impressing people and being part of that cool kids club, the thing that I desperately wanted so much when I was growing up, that I think I've went too far the other way. I'm my own club. I got my own clique.
That's a deep cut reference. No one is going to get that.
Nope. But I think that's where it goes. If you need to try to diagnose it, I mean, for the most part, I didn't know any of these things were a problem, which is the sign of a problem.
Now, for the record, I'm not saying that these are problems.
Could be.
I'm just saying.
I feel like it is now.
It could be. I just think that you would enjoy yourself a lot more if you stopped viewing things this way. Because look, you're not a gamer. I'm a gamer. We could easily have this conversation about video games of where it's like you're being a hipster about this. I'm also a cinephile. And, like I said, there is nothing wrong with someone thinking differently than you. That is not what this last hour and change has been about. What this has been about is trying to just live your life and enjoy things for what they are, and not necessarily just because we are letting society dictate how we should feel about this the opposite way. Now, this is the big reveal.
Oof.
I have known about this. I have known this the entire time. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I just think V's a hipster. And I think that he likes to go and dislike things just because people like them. And it was getting.
I don't think I knew that that's what a hipster was. So
no, it's not. It's you're both of these things, really.
Oh,
A hipster is someone that usually likes niche things, claims these things as I liked them before you liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes one of the traits of a hipster is just liking things because they're not popular. So, and I think you show some tendencies with that, of where if it's not popular, you love it. And if it is popular, you hate it.
Is that why you baited me into telling you about my Randy Orton video?
No. That was just legitimately a funny conversation to me.
Oh, okay.
Is that
playing a long game?
Yeah. So, you ready for some homework?
Not really, but okay. Crank it up, Peach.
Doesn't got to be this week. Doesn't have to be ready by next week. But soon, on this podcast, I need a report on some movies that you need to watch. And I want to get your honest opinion of them. And here's what we're going to put you on the honor system with these. Do not watch these with your girlfriend. Do not have your phone in the room while you are watching these movies. Be in the moment, watch these movies, and really take them in. I'm not saying like take notes but Dickie, you said I can't have my phone. There's a thing called a notebook.
Oh no. I can't read my writing.
If you want to take notes, then take notes. But at the end of the day, what I really want is for you to zero in and focus on these movies and watch them and be in the moment of watching these movies. Are you ready for the movies,
Oof.
Jason V?
Maybe. I don't like the word movies, plural.
It was originally 2,
Ugh.
but it's turned into 3.
It's not Oppenheimer. I'm not watching that. Is it
First
back
of
to
all,
2?
First of all, no, actually, it was never Oppenheimer. But now it's 4. I need you to watch Oppenheimer. No, I'm
not
joking.
doing Oppenheimer.
Start with what started this whole conversation. Watch Backrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Backrooms again. Really pay attention to the movie. If you feel like that it would help your experience with the movie, I'm going to give you a caveat here, an asterisk. You can go watch some of Kane Pixel's original Backrooms videos on YouTube. If you think that it would help your experience, feel free to do that.
I think I understand the concept of it. It's just
okay.
I wasn't interested in it.
Movie.
I don't need more homework on top of homework.
Movie number 2. I've suggested this movie to you, and I know that I don't suggest. Maybe you've watched it, maybe you've not watched it. The Furious.
Oh, yeah, I got that one too.
I think you should. You have seen it or you've not seen it?
I have it. I have not seen it.
Okay, perfect.
I have both of these ready to go.
Yes. That is a movie that is kind of an entry level because I think that it's just a big. I'm trying to do my best to not give you opinions, even though I've talked about how much I really like that movie. The other movie that I would like for you to watch, rewatch Obsession as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I got all three of those. They're all
Throw
fun.
Obsession in there and watch it. Don't worry about what might happen after or the real world consequences of it. Just watch the movie. And look, here's the thing. If you want to split these movies up and you want to come to me next week and be like, hey, watched Obsession, let's talk about it. Or, hey, I watched 2 of the 3, let's give them a status report. Or if you just want to wait and get all 3 of them, and then you can come to me and we can have a wider conversation, boom, go right ahead, man. That's what we want to do. The order in which you watch these, I think that you start with The Furious because that would be a good entry point for you. And you've not seen it.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
I think you then go to Obsession and then you end with The Backrooms. And again, the 2 caveats of these viewings: alone, and your phone has to be not necessarily in the other room, but turned off, silenced, away from you where you're not doing that.
You're not watching the video and Subway Surfers.
Yes.
Yeah. The biggest one on Obsession, I don't want to watch that one again because I don't like the cat stuff. And you didn't give me the Iggy on the cat stuff.
Oh, I should have gave you the Iggy on the cat stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that one messed with me. That messed with me and kind of pushed me to go too far the other way, maybe. Like I'd be like, no, this isn't real. It's not real. This isn't real. No, it isn't real. So
do we want to take off Obsession then?
No, it's fine. I understand it. I just said I don't want to watch it. So I just might not watch it. You're not my dad.
No, you know what? Okay, we're taking off Obsession. We're adding another movie instead of Obsession. Exit 8.
Okay, hold on. Isn't this a series?
No, it's a show.
Session
or a movie. Sorry.
Session 8, I think, is the series.
Maybe.
If that's the case, that one was really good.
Exit 8. Watch the movie Exit 8.
Okay, let me find out what it is. But yes, I'll go ahead and put that on the list.
Yeah, do that. And then report back to me with what you think about these movies. Again, no outside influence, watching them by yourself. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. Well, Jason V, this was fun. At least for me. I hope that you had fun. But we're going to have fun. Attacked. No, it was not meant to be an attack. It was never meant to be an attack. I just want to get to the root of why you might feel this way about these movies. And again, at the end of the day, cool. I don't care that you don't like these movies, but I also want to. Now, look, here's another thing too.
We're going long like the magician.
If you ever want to, I'll eat him. If you ever want to take me to task for something, feel free. Let me know. Give me a week's prep so I know what the subject of the podcast is.
Oh, I think you should watch Monster Squad.
I do plan on that, actually.
I think you should watch that.
I'll tell you another movie that I plan on.
You should watch Terrifier, just because I'm still thinking.
I'll tell you what. Tip for tat. You're watching 3 movies. I'll watch 3 movies.
Oh, man,
I'll watch Monsters. Huh?
I don't have a third.
Yeah, you do. Exit 8.
No, for you.
Oh, no, because I'm going to tell you what the third is.
Okay.
I'm going to watch Monster Squad. I'm going to watch Terrifier, and I'm going to watch Siren.
Oh, very cool.
And we will report back, and we will talk about these movies at a future date. But that is in the future. This is the now. thank you for listening to the Spot Show podcast.
About fellow
Here's the thing. If you just can't get enough of us, you can find me on Instagram at DWobsEditBay. We talked about movies a lot. If you want to hear my thoughts on movies, go on over to Letterboxd at DWobs, of course, with a Z. You can find Jason V in the concession stand line buying his icy. You strike me as the type that does the layers with the icy. Do you?
ices were awesome. We had them at Kmart. They were so good.
Yeah, ices are dope.
Yeah.
I just had an icy at the theater the other day, and it was the best. It was the best. MadBashStudios.com. That's the big plug. Links to everything. Patreon.com/MadBash Studios. YouTube.com at MadBash Wrestling. YouTube.com at MadBash Studios. Be on the lookout for the stuff that we've got rolling out there. Of course, August 29th, 2026, MadBash Wrestling presents Ruthless. We hope to see everyone there. For those of you on the Patreon, Jason V apparently has a Josh Steele story, but for everybody else, we will see you down the road on some form of content.